Hi, friends. Welcome to Unlocking Potential, your journey to fulfillment. On this journey, you are going to be inspired to discover your true and authentic self and be equipped to unlock your fullest potential. My name is Aaron Sangmo, and I'm your coach. I'm excited you've joined me on this journey. So, this content is a prelude to our main discussion, right? It's not a main discussion, it's a prelude. So, I'm going to be sharing with you very high level pointers to what we are going to discuss in the main session. In this session, we are going to look at the concept of self discovery. We are going to have a very high level overview of what self discovery is. We're going to look at the critical elements of self-discovery. We're going to look at the goal of self-discovery. We're going to look at critical questions to ask along the journey. And we are going to wrap things up with the approach, the attitude, or the mindset that you need to have on this journey. Let's kick things off with the definition of self-discovery. What is self-discovery? That's a question we have to answer. Self-discovery is the journey to awareness of your true and authentic self. It's a journey that will bring you to an awareness of your true and authentic self. You were designed specially. You are a unique species. There is no other person like you. And this uniqueness that you are needs to be explored. You owe it to yourself to uncover everything that you are, everything your creator made you to be. Number two, you owe it to the world to show forth your uniqueness because you complete the world. Without you, the world is incomplete. So you owe it to yourself as a responsibility, one, but secondly, you also owe it as a responsibility to the world to show forth what you are. The world wants to see a full throttle you, the full package. Third thing I want to say is that self-discovery is a long shot. It's not an event. You're not going to wake up one day and say, Eureka, I found myself. It's a continuous journey and you have to be ready to go the long haul. So that's it for the definition of self-discovery. Now let's look at the goal. After discovering yourself, what next? What's the goal of self-discovery? The ultimate goal of self-discovery is to become all that you are. Once you uncover yourself, once you are able to come to awareness of who you are, now the onus lies on you to show it forth. Let us see, become all that you are. Become all that the Creator made you to be. Now let's move on to the elements, the composition. If we talk about self-discovery, what are we talking about? What does it entail, right? So I'm going to share with you about 5 key elements that constitute the self-discovery process. Number 1, values and beliefs. Your values and beliefs are the principles that you hold close to your chest. They are the things that mean so much to you. They are the things you are not willing to make compromises on. Okay, and every one of us has certain inherent values which we cherish. So your self-discovery process involves you coming to awareness of the things that are so dear to you. Somebody has a value of environmental conservation. They are crazy about the environment. They believe the environment should live in such a harmony that all things fall in their right places and there is respect amongst all the things that fall within the environment. So we should respect animal rights, plant rights, and things like that. That's somebody's value. It may not make sense to you, but that's their value. Somebody also values relationships. There are people who change relationships or change friends as if, it's a commodity that can be bought on the market. But for other people, they will do everything. They will go the longest haul just to keep a relationship and to make sure it's a healthy one, a thriving one. That's somebody's value. So we all have our values and our beliefs, right? And these things tell us who we are. It tells us ourselves, right? So your values and beliefs. Number 2, your passions and interests. Your passions and interests. These are the kind of things that arouse some energy inside you. Everybody has some of those things that when you're at them or whilst at it, you experience an intense energy from within. Sometimes you don't even feel hungry. I mean, you don't care about any other thing. It's as if the world is at a standstill once you are doing those kind of things. So your passions and your interests also demonstrate yourself. And as I'm talking, you may be thinking of your own passions. If you know them, it could be music, it could be cooking. You've heard a lot of stories about cookathon and things like that, how people are passionate about cooking. And somebody said, I don't mind dying in that kitchen because I'm cooking. So your passions and your interests are another way you discover yourself. Number 3, your strengths and weaknesses. Your strengths and weaknesses. So here we are talking about your abilities, your capabilities, but also your deficiencies, right? Maybe you're not happy to hear about deficiencies, but your strengths tell us who you are, in as much as your weaknesses also tell us who you are. The things you are not good at are an indicator of the things you are good at. And it simply tells you that focus your energies on the things you can do and do well. So you should know yourself and know that, hey, if you ask me to do this set of activities, that's not my sweet spot. So you rather find somebody else. But if you have space for this particular activity, I'm the go-to guy. You should come to that awareness of yourself. Number 4, personality and temperament. Personality and temperament. We are as diverse as we can ever think of, right? And studies have shown there are various temperaments, the melancholy, the sanguine, choleric, and all those things that research has shown. And we are all a mix or a blend of all of these, and there are some that are very pronounced, okay? So it will give you a particular temperament identity. Now, when it comes to personality, those are things that are mostly acquired based on your exposure, the places you've been to, the kind of company you've had, and all that. So that's a slight difference between your temperament and your personality. Your personality are things you mostly acquire, but your temperament is mostly innate. There are things that are more genetic, right? Something that's more hereditary. Okay, so number 4 is personality and temperament. Number 5, which is the last, is your goals and aspirations. Your goals and aspirations. What do you want to be known by? How do you want to become relevant? Okay, so everybody has their set of goals, okay, and you have yours. So your set of goals and aspirations, they also define you. This will do it for the elements of self-discovery. So let's move on to the cardinal pointers to self-discovery. And I'm going to share with you 3 overarching questions. 3 overarching questions you need to answer. Everybody needs to answer these 3 very fundamental questions in order to come to awareness of themselves. Let's go for it. Number 1, who am I? The question of who am I? That's a question of identity. Beyond being male or female, there is a special ID your Creator put on you. In Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, Bible says that God told Jeremiah that whilst you were still in your mother's womb, I had ordained you a prophet. So it means Jeremiah came to earth with a tag, with an inscription embossed on him, prophet. And every one of us came to earth with one of those. You may have come to earth with an inscription, journalist, teacher, pastor, painter, whatever it is, you have a unique ID that you came to earth with. Number 2, the second question, very important question, is why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here is a question of purpose. A question of purpose. Everybody has a purpose. There is a reason the Creator put you here. You are not an accident. You were not thrown out of space and just landed here. God carefully gave thought of creating you, and there is a special reason for that. You need to answer that question of why am I here? Finally, the question of potential. What can I do? What can I do? That's the question of potential. Everybody can do something. None of us is useless, but everybody is useful in their own way. And you also have potential. You have to uncover your potential. So we are close to the end of this particular session, and I'm going to wrap things up with the approach to self-discovery. How should you go about this whole discovery journey, right? I'm going to share quick thoughts with you. Number one, you should have the sense of continuous questioning and learning. On this journey, you need to be curious. You need to ask yourself questions. You need to find out from your own self why you are what you are. And if need be, ask people who may know too. I've asked my parents before why I am a certain type of person. And the answers they gave me contributed a lot to discovering myself. So ask questions, find answers. Unfortunately, the older we get, the less questions we ask. Research has shown that. I'm going to go into detail in the main discussion. So you have to have a continuous questioning and learning attitude. Number two, honesty and vulnerability. You must seek to know the truth about you, not delusions, not fantasies. And after getting to know that, you must be willing to embrace that truth about yourself. It may not sound sexy, it may not sound nice and so beautiful, and you've watched movies, perhaps you've watched too much movie, and you see certain characters and you wish you were like them. Hey, when you come to know yourself, you have to accept yourself for who you are. Begin loving yourself. That's where it all starts from. Number three, embracing change and growth. Embracing change and growth. You can evolve. You can become better. There is that possibility of evolving, of growing, of developing. And so you should have this mindset that whilst you're going through this process, there are things about you that you have to improve on. Your strengths, you have to make them better. And there are things that are your weaknesses. There is a way you have to go about them. We're going to go into the details of all these sessions. Alrighty, that will do it for this session. We've looked at the concept of self-discovery. We've just taken the veil off. We'll go into details in the upcoming sessions. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to leave you something for you to ponder over, okay? A quote by Dr. Miles Monroe, a best-selling author, conference speaker, governance coach. Dr. Miles Monroe said, "The greatest discovery in life is self-discovery. Until you discover yourself, you will always be someone else. Become yourself." End of quote. Thank you for coming along, and see you in the next session.